All right, story time. I'm gonna. I just got back from meeting up with someone, and it was like super, what, like really crappy. I didn't want to already go. I already have a policy where when I meet people on OfferUp, they have to come to me. Unless they're gonna buy something that's really worth it, they have to come to me. It's simple. And I always put a sign in my offer up saying that if you ask for a delivery, don't even dare asking for a discount because that's just ridiculous. That used to bug me so much. But anyways, so I get contacted for uh, a pair of Ethicas, and I was like, okay, cool. They say, hey, is it available? I'm like, yeah, I got him. They're like, okay, cool. When can you deliver? Or they're like, do you deliver? And at this point, they hadn't asked me for a discount, so I was like, possibly. I was like, not right now, but I was like, maybe if you ordered more than one item, I would, or I would feel more influenced to go. And she was like, yeah, let me take a look at your store, and if I see something else, I'll let you know. So I was like, okay, cool. So some time goes by, and about maybe like 20 minutes later, she sends me a message on OfferUp. She says, hey, how about one of your cheaper slimes, which I get for $5 and I sell them for 15. So I would have made a $10 profit on that one, even with the tax. And she said, how about one of your cheapest slimes or another pair of Ethicas? And so the Ethicas I pay $8.99 for. So that's $9, 10% tax. That is exactly $10. So I paid $10 for the Ethicas, and I had them listed for 22. On the Ethicas, there was a profit of $12 even after tax. So I said, okay, well, I'll do two Ethicas because duh, my profit margins are much bigger on the Ethicas. And so they were like, okay, that's fine. I was like, okay, cool. So I get ready, and I say, okay, where would I be dropping off to before I leave? And she says, Inglewood. And already, I'm not a big fan of Inglewood. I've already had experiences. Growing up, I had friends from Inglewood, so I would go there and hang out, and it's just, there's no good in Inglewood. There is no good in Inglewood, I tell you that. There's some good. There's always going to be some good everywhere, but, Inglewood's a rough city. And so, anyways, she says, at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm making $12 per Ethica per short, and that means that times two, it is $4 profit. And Inglewood's only like with traffic, it took me like about 15 minutes. What took me longer was having to drive home to pick up the stuff. So I am like, all right, fine, whatever. I already told her I'd do it, and honestly, we're getting closer to Christmas, and I just want to unload as much as I can because I have so much inventory. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go. It's money. It's another $30. Basically, I had someone else to meet kind of in that direction, but not really, but still kind of. So it wasn't too bad. And I go and I get to Inglewood. To top it off, when I get there, it's like the most ridiculous like shopping center where there's literally only one way to get there because all the other ways you cannot do U-turns, and there's double yellow lines not allowing you to turn into the driveways, and this is in the middle of the driveway, like as in to pull into the shopping center. And this is in the middle of like Inglewood, LA. It's just, there's cops everywhere. I don't want to risk it. So I'm already like, this person's waiting for me at CVS. So I end up having to do this crazy little extra 10 minutes of driving around when I was already right in front of the CVS, which already frustrated me, right? But whatever. I go, I do that. The person's being really cool about it. They're like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's all good. I understand." So I come back, I do this crazy U-turn, and okay, let me back up a little. So when they first contacted me, they wanted me to drop it off at their house, and I was like, oh, I'm already gonna drive about 15 to 18 minutes. I said, could you please just meet me off the freeway, somewhere public too, to it's just a little safer. And so they agreed. And so when I ended up having a detour, I kind of messaged her. I was like, dude, this is like the most ridiculous shopping center to get to. She was like, haha, I know, I told you, we could meet at the house, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And so anyways, so I end up doing everything. I come back and okay, I pull in. I'm at CVS. I park. I text the. Okay, so I the whole time I think it's a dude because the name says CJ, and so obviously that was stupid of me to have assumed that it was just a guy because it was CJ, because most of the people I've ever met that are named CJ are men, but whatever. So I'm expecting to meet a guy, and I get there and I park and I messaged CJ and I'm like, hey, I'm here. And I said, what kind of car are you in? For some reason, CJ was being kind of skeptical and weird, and they said, well, I mean, I contacted you for what they said. She was like, I contacted you for the item. What car are you in? And at this point, I'm like, oh my God, lady, like, or CJ, why you making this so tough? So I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna get out and start walking around and message her. She'll hopefully just, usually when I do this, I just end up seeing the person, or they wave me down. So I get out, I'm walking around with a bag, and I'm messaging her, and she sends me a message saying my headlights are on. So I'm like, okay. So I look around, and there's like 3 cars with headlights on. 2 of them are like parked right next to each other, and one's like off to the side. But one of the ones right in front of me, the 2 that are together, has the headlights on, like full blown. And so I was like, okay, I think this is it. I'm expecting a dude, and there's a black guy sitting in the driver's seat, big black guy, not muscular wise, but like fat wise. And so I walk up, I'm like, hey, what's up, CJ? Are you CJ? And he looks at me and goes, nah, man, CJ's in that car. Trip out on this. He goes, CJ's in that car. And I was like, okay. So I walk around, and when I walk around, there's a guy who's like kind of leaned into the standing outside of the car, kind of like leaning in through the window, kind of how people do when they walk up to a car and start talking to someone, kind of like when a drug deal happens. So homeboy's sitting there. They're just hanging out though. Both cars are just hanging out. Like I could tell they're just hanging out. And so I'm thinking, okay, these are the dudes. They're here. This guy CJ. I mean, I'm dropping off men's boxer briefs. Person's name is CJ. Anyways, so I walk up and I go, yo, who's CJ? And one of the guys that's in the car, because there was like 3 guys in that car, one of the guys that's in the car goes, this is the other car, not the initial car I walked up to. This is the other car. And he looks back at me. He even kind of like freaked out, like, what the, who, like, these guys, okay, look, these guys were a little hood. I'm not gonna lie, they were hood. And so I was like, when he turned around, I was like, wait, what the? I was already kind of like the guy who was standing outside. He kind of got up real quick, and he was like what? Like, what's up? And so I thought he was CJ. And so at this time, homeboy's like, what? Like, what? Boy's like, what? Like, what the? And so at this time, I'm like, kind of like, okay, I'm gonna extinguish the situation by letting him know I'm here with CJ. So this guy kind of turns around, looks at me, says, what's up? I'm like, okay, this is CJ. So I hand him the Ethicas, and he grabs them. And I did kind of notice that he grabbed them, and he was like looking at him, and he was like, and I'm just standing there, and I'm like waiting for him to like ask me something and bust out the money. And he just starts looking at me, he's like, all right, cool, and then one of the guy, not the guy that kind of tripped out. Oh, so I do that, and he's looking at it, and then the guy in the back that was like, what the? He sees that, and he's like, oh, oh, my bad, dude. And I was like, it's all good, man. You know, at this time I'm thinking that everything's cool. And so I'm like, it's all good, bro. And this guy was like the guy in the front seat where the guy was, you know, up and he was talking to, he goes, did you order that right now, bro? Did you order that? And his homeboy just kind of just like tripping out, and he walks away, and he's like, all right, cool. And he walks away, and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm sitting there, and I see him just walk away, and I'm like, okay, I gave it about 2 seconds, and I'm sitting there, and the homie, the one who first was like, what the, he was like, he was like, wait, what just happened? And I'm like, I look at him, and I'm like, your boy CJ hit me up for these shorts. He said he was gonna buy them. And at this point, I'm like, dude, don't tell. I am already like, it's settling in my head. I'm like, don't tell me I just got set up to drive here and I got jacked by these guys. So he says, you know, what's going on? I told him, I was like, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to drop him. This guy said he's going to buy him. And he's like, what? Man, I don't know. And I was like, oh my God. And I noticed that who I thought was CJ walks away. He drives around to the first car that I had walked up to and gets in on the other side in the back seat. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Need to cut that. And I'm like, wait, what the is going on? So he sits there and I'm like, yo, bro, what? And he's just playing it off. He's just sitting there. He's ignoring me. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're not going to pay for it? Like, what? And he's like ignoring me, like full on ignoring me. And his homies are already kind of catching on. They see what's going on. And since I had kind of explained to all them, like, look, yo, they're all asking me, like, some of them are walking up from I don't know where, and they're all asking, like, yo, what happened? What's going on? And I'm explaining, like, dude, I came here to meet your boy. I was gonna sell him, blah blah. And he just walked away. What's going on? And so at first when CJ started walking away, there was a guy who kind of got out of the first car that I walked up to. He had got out through on that side, and when CJ started walking away, I was like, kind of like, wait, what the? And then I kind of went to walk straight towards CJ, who I thought was CJ, and homie was right there. So I kind of came at him like what the, like loud and not trying to get crazy, just kind of like, dude, like what? And so homeboy goes, whoa, and the last thing I wanted was for these guys to think I was trying to fight this guy, because there was literally at least six of them, all in their 30s. I'm in my late 20s. These guys are in their 30s, full grown men, hood men, like hood, bro. And they were up to no, they like I know that you know, they weren't the best citizens, but check this out, they were in really nice cars. I wonder why, but they were in really nice cars. This point, his homies are already kind of like telling him, like, hey bro, give cuz his stuff back, you know, just give his stuff back, bro, like don't do that to him. And then he's like, man, I heard at one point, this is where it kind of gets crazy, because he's like, man, I heard where he told his boy something, the CJ, he told his boy something, and the guy that I first walked up to, the car he got into, he was like, the big guy up front said to CJ, he was like, man, what you're gonna do this all for what? For $1 million? And so at first when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Like, I was just like, I heard that, and it kind of tripped me out, because I heard $1 million. I was like, wait, are they talking about something completely different? Now they're just completely ignoring me. And so he says that, and I'm like trying to, like, I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, dude, come on, man, please, man. Like, dude, what, you're gonna jack me, dude? You're gonna jack some guy for some underwear, bro? Like, I'm trying to make some money on the side here. Like, I'm trying to douche the right way, and you're gonna jack me, bro? And then he's like actually like trying to keep these things. And at this point, his homies back off from like telling him, you know, just give this guy his stuff back. They're just like, all right, man, you go, you know, whatever. Like, at this point, they're all saying whatever. And I start to get like kind of like, at this point, I'm like, wow, it's sunk in. I was like, wow, I just got jacked. I was like, wow, this guy literally set me up. And at that point, when this guy set me up, he says, you came to the wrong person, bro. I don't even know who you are. And I was like, dude, you're not CJ? He goes, no, man. And I was like, oh my God, dude. So I just walked up to the wrong person and started talking to them. And I handed over the merchandise. Like, what? How stupid is, like, what? Man, so check this out. So when he says this, I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm already like, dude, I got jacked, basically, right? Like, this is already starting to sink in that I got stolen for my stuff, and I just drove 15-20 minutes to get my stuff stolen. $45 worth of stuff stolen. And at this point, I'm like, all right, I start busting out my phone, and I'm trying to get my phone out, my camera with, you know, like as low key as I can without them noticing, because I wanted to take a picture of the license plate. And I was like, well, worst case, I'm driving away and I'm calling the cops, and I'm gonna see if they can even try to get my shorts back, because these guys were hood. I would not be surprised if they had guns on them. And so homeboy, you know, he's talking about that, and at the time he's like I keep telling him, like, come on, bro, please. And he's telling me, like, if I give you one, will you leave me alone? Will you drop it? And I was like, no, man, I need them both, bro. Like, what do you mean? I'm here to meet someone. And he was like, oh, see, they're too bad then. I'm gonna keep them both. You should have taken one. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there just stressing out. I'm walking back and forth. I'm not leaving, right? I'm like, dude, I'm not leaving. I need my shorts. I need these things. At this time, I'm so flustered, and it's just like, I'm so in shock. I keep forgetting to at least message the person and say, CJ, the real CJ, and say, hey, this is going on, you know, hold on, or call the cops or something. It wasn't registering. I was just so flustered. And I was trying to, you know, keep my eyes on them to make sure that he didn't just book it. And so eventually he saw I wasn't going to leave, and I'm telling this guy, like, dude, I got double hip replacements, bro. I was like, I got $80,000 surgery every 20 years to worry about, bro. I was like, you're going to steal from someone who's out here trying to, like, make some money? Like, come on, dude. And he was like, hey, bro, don't give me that sob story. He's like, I'm in debt $1 million right now. I owe someone $1 million. And that's when I connected the dots. And I said, when he earlier when he told his friend something, and his friend said, man, you're going to do this all what, for over $1 million? I'm thinking he told his friend, like, yo, bro, like, I'm in massive debt right now, bro. I could sell these things. Like, he was all in there at one point, like, looking at the tags, and like he was like messing with me, saying, oh, these are my size, even though one was a small and one was a medium. Like, what? Like, bro, you're a big ass grown man. Like, you are not a small or medium in Ethicas. You're at least a large. So he's just sitting there, and he's looking at the price tag, and they say probably like $26 or something. So he's thinking he came up on $50 right now. And he goes again to tell me, you know, I'll give you one if you leave me alone. And he kind of sticks it out the window. So I walk up and I grab it, and he goes, all right, cool, so you happy now? You're gonna leave me alone? And I was like, nah, bro, I need my shorts. And he's like, oh, see, you do with that bullshit. And I'm just like, man. So now I got one. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm kind of just sitting there, and I'm like trying to think. And I'm not sure if his friend told him something, but I was just kind of like, just please give me my stuff, man, please. And I don't know what, but last thing, when I least expected it, probably like 5 minutes after sitting there with these guys, he throws it out. He's like, man, he throws it out the window, and it falls on the floor. I pick it up, and this is the funny part. My dumbass, after these guys try to jack me, I was so in shock. I wasn't even thinking, but I go to pick up their shorts and I go, thanks, bro. And the guy starts laughing at me. What a fuck kook. I should have been like, you. I'm not even going to say it. But I was so relieved to get my shorts back that I was just like, thanks, bro. And I picked up my shorts and I walked away. So I walk away, and you know, it was luckily the person didn't leave sooner, because they're messaging me the whole time saying like, yo, where are you? Like, you said you were here 5 minutes ago. And they literally had sent me a message uh, right before I got the short, a minute before I got the second pair of shorts back, she had sent a message saying, "I'm leaving." And so I messaged her and I was like, "Dude, I'm here. I'm sorry something happened. Please call me." It was really weird because at the same time she sent me a message saying, "Call me." So I called her and I was like, boom. I told her exactly what happened. I was like, "Look, can you meet at the Ralph's?" The Ralph's was basically next door. I was like, "Let's just meet at the Ralph's. This and this happened." She was like, "Oh my God, what?" I drive over. I explained exactly what happened to her, and she was just like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy. I'm so sorry. We were wondering what happened." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what happened. I almost wasn't able to meet you." And yeah, that's what saved me. So that's crazy. There's a reason why I always try to get people to come to me, and I know there's a reason why most people do that. It has nothing to do with obviously really random rare stuff like that happen. Like I feel like that's such a random stupid thing to happen, like that I walked up to the wrong people and they just happened to be so shady. Well, no, it wasn't even they, it was the one guy. Like, it's crazy that I walked, like, well, no, I mean, I kind of walked up to all of them, so essentially any of them could have done it to me. But everyone was telling homeboy, like, "Bro, give him his stuff back. Just give the guy his stuff back. All right, cool, it's all funny, it's done. I give the guy his stuff back." But he really wanted to keep him. And so I'm like, after I was like, man, if this guy's really in debt $1 million, what are 2 pair of Ethicas gonna do, man? And so, like, it was just like insane. And like, if he's really in debt $1 million, which I believe because his friend had said something about it, what a coincidence. If he's really in debt $1 million, that is crazy, because I'm assuming it's over bail or he owes some dangerous person $1 million, because he is not a good person. Like, you could tell these guys were all hoodlums. And so man, I don't know, it's crazy, man. If you guys have any similar stories, go. I want to hear about it. You know, give me a quick little comment. And you guys got to be careful out there. First of all, always make sure you know exactly who the right person is. Like, always confirm. And if they're being weird, like my person was saying, "Well, I called you, you know, you tell me who, you know, blah blah blah." Like, you told me what car you're in. You got to just be like, "Okay, look, I'm gonna walk up to the CVS. I'm wearing this and this shirt. You know, walk up, like, I'll be right, like, walk up to me or pull up right there." Because if you go ahead and assume who it is and you're in a bad part of town, yeah, that's the problem about living in Los Angeles. You get a lot of people who are just really shady. That's my story. Other than that, offer up has been great. I'm not gonna lie, I've been killing it. Exciting stuff. I expect to sell up until Christmas. I expect people to be calling me on Christmas Eve, on the 24th, trying to get gifts. So I will so yeah, guys, that's my story. Don't get jacked. Be careful, be alert, be aware, be smart, and reconsider when you drop stuff off. Make sure it's really worth it if you're gonna do it, because I could have easily driven to the ghetto for no reason and to pay someone, basically. Don't do it.